Hi, I'm Graham Lasso, and you're listening to Eat, Sleep, Chelsea, Repeat with Chris, Craig, and Brady.
Sleep, Chelsea, repeat. Sleep, Chelsea, repeat. Eat, sleep, Chelsea, repeat. Eat, sleep, Chelsea, repeat.
Welcome to the Eat, Sleep, Chelsea Repeat pod. The headline this week, returning King Cole gets his goal as Chelsea win a must-win 2-0 versus Everton. I'm here with my good friend Brady, both at the game yesterday. How are we feeling?
Yeah, I mean, he put on Instagram, didn't he, that he was going to return and make things right, and kind of did immediately. Wasn't the best atmosphere at the ground yesterday. The first 10 minutes, very nervy, very flat. I mean, very kind of cliche to say that, but very flat. But he got the team going on a day that was very tricky. So yeah, it's great to have him back. And even though we only got to see 58 minutes, it's like Maresca said in the presser afterwards. It's he's only played 20-30% of the game this year. So yeah, it's good to have him back.
Yeah, that was only the second time we've seen Cole Palmer play at Stamford Bridge in almost 7 months. So it's almost like a treat for us to watch him, and it definitely was a treat. He was really good yesterday, and we'll talk about his return and what it means for the team as we go forward here. Just a quick run through the stats from the game yesterday. Chelsea with 58% possession to Everton's 42, 2.2 expected goals versus Everton's 1.03. Did have a couple of chances, Everton, 3 big chances for them, 5 big chances for Chelsea, most of which fell to Garnacho, who I'm sure will crop up later on in the pod as well. Give me a like from yesterday. Let's start positive.
I think you're just starting to see some glue in the team, especially when I don't know A and B team anymore, but when the first team is there, you've got a lot of players who are just there, like James, Fofana, Cucurella, Palmer, Caicedo, to a certain extent Enzo, although he wasn't great yesterday, but he was obviously very tired. So I think Sanchez, you can put in that now. He's got 9 clean sheets now this year. You've got, I wouldn't say it's a spine, but you've got a bit of a nexus of the team to work from. And when that nexus dissolves into whether that's injury or rotation, that's when the team, collapses. I wouldn't say collapses, but disimproves or gets a lot worse, a fair bit worse. So yeah, that's positive. In this age of rotation, I mean, even like you look at a team like Arsenal, I know that's great against Wolves last night. They have like a fundamental core where, you've got Zubimendi, obviously Gabriel and Saliba at the back, Raya, Rice, Saka. Even though they rotate a lot as well, they just got that nexus of a team that will just like that kind of league winning or, elite team. So yes, it's good that we're kind of starting to develop that.
Yeah, I mean, that was exactly my like as well. It was like best 11 forming question mark. I mean, the spine, again, is something I've written down as well. I think you can see with the team, and Sanchez was really good again yesterday, that sort of that Sanchez, Fofana, and what is going to be Chalobah right now, but will be Colwill as we go forward. Caicedo, Reece, Palmer. You're starting to see players, Cucurella, that are forming the basis of what could be a really special team, I think. And that's one of the reasons to be excited. I think Fofana especially, there was some question marks over that centre-back position, but the level he's playing at right now, he's we'll talk about him in temperatures, or I will anyway. But I think you're absolutely spot on. I think the spine of the team is really starting to come together, and the spine being like really, really strong players as well. Top level Premier League players, approaching the best in their position. When we're talking about Reece, Caicedo, Cucurella, Palmer, and you've got to say as well, included in that bracket this year is Robert Sanchez. So, it's exciting for sure. All right, what did you have for dislikes?
Well, I think I was just going to do the opposite of this, where you've got that spine, but it's kind of like the steel of the team. And then you've got this like gooey out a bit. Like there's some players who are all right, but they're not great. I mean, I think João Pedro was okay yesterday. I know he scored in Atalanta, but he's gone off the boil a bit. You're not sure where his best position is. Gittins and Garnacho, they've both got talent, but they're a bit wishy-washy. I mean, look, they're young players. They're not going to be coming and plug and play. But you think in that kind of left-sided 9, I think we should probably include, I think probably a bit of your service, probably Neto is in that glue as well at the moment. I think we didn't really give him, he's very good assist yesterday. So he's kind of in that glue as well. And you've got Esteban on that side who's obviously very promising. But that 9 left wing, maybe backup midfielder a little bit. Like, if Caicedo and Enzo are out, you got Santos in there, players like that. that's where it's a problem, because it is chalk and cheese a little bit, and when we rotate sometimes, and yeah, it just feels like other teams. Are like, I mean, I know they only beat Club Brugge 3-0, but they rotate heavily. Have Norgard at the back, and they beat Club Brugge 3-0. Now I know that Club Brugge aren't a great team, but it just seems that other teams, City and Arsenal, can rotate better than us. They can rotate on their backups a bit more than us, and
I wouldn't include City in that bracket this year. Definitely Arsenal.
but there is just a clear drop off in the rotation. It's going to be a year we're going to be rotating a lot because of the Club World Cup, and I think because Maresca just likes to rotate. He likes to keep players fresh, and I think they have this idea that if you rotate through the season in the home run, the last 3 months you'll be fresh, where the others will be more tired, and I get that. But we do suffer before that, and there's just a lot of players who are just a bit. I don't like. It's a bit kind of a cliche, a bit like meh. They're fine. Like, I'm not gonna. I was at the game yesterday. I know. We're going to talk about the players, but there's players who you can't say they're poor players, but you can't say they're just in the middle. They're okay, and for where we're at and where we want to be, it's just a bit of an issue.
Yeah. I think my dislike was just the atmosphere at the game. I mean, I know you talked about the
Awful, yeah.
The first 10 minutes as we started, but I think the atmosphere in general was just appalling, really, at the game, and it's been so in stark contrast to the recent home games: Liverpool at home, Barcelona at home, Arsenal at home. Well, the atmosphere has been absolutely unreal. But it's crazy that it's so polarizing. It's either absolutely brilliant or terrible. Those are the two. There's never like a decent atmosphere at the game. And obviously Chelsea are winning 2-0. It's a really important game yesterday. There was nothing from the fans at all. And obviously I'm one of them in the ground every week, but it's got to fall on us. We've got to find a way. And to be honest, I was really sceptical about the singing section when it came in for the Conference League games last year. But I think it's brilliant, actually. I've completely flipped my idea of it, and the Barcelona game where the singing section was there was made so much better because of the singing section as well, and I think that has to be a permanent feature in the ground going forward, because we have to find a way for the people that want to sing in the ground, because I think the problem is they're all dotted around the ground. People that want to sing and create an atmosphere are all mixed in with people that just want to sit and enjoy the game, and that's fine. There's no pressure on anyone to enjoy a game in a different way than they want to. But I think we could get a group together, especially in the Shed and the Matthew Harding, that want to just sing and stand for the whole game. And it's important to group them all together. And I think that singing section is actually a really, really good way of doing that, despite me being skeptical of it. So, yeah, hopefully we find a way to
you're always biased, but Chelsea away support has always been pretty good, I think. I mean, when you watch them on TV, they're always pretty loud, and you always get kind of. I mean, every away fan support is going to be there because they're the loyalists. But yeah, I agree. I think the atmosphere was terrible yesterday. There's like Christmas coming up. I mean, look, and you can't blame like tourists and things like that. And I sit in the Matthew Harding end, and to be honest, it's a very, I have to say this in delicate, we're a very aging fan base. There's a lot of guys who are like, and mainly guys. I mean, I don't usually like to discuss. Obviously, 95% of the stadium, 90% of the stadium is male. It's a lot, and female, but a lot of 60, 70-year-old guys who are just not really getting up and singing. Their heyday of being a vibrant supporter in terms of singing and getting up is gone, and that's fine. Like they paid a lot of money for the club, that they deserve to come to games, obviously. But my dad's a Celtic fan, and they have a ultra section, which is controversial a bit because they do some other stuff that's not that great, but they put like the Palestinian flag up, they just do a lot of political stuff, and that's the Celtic. But they literally have 3,000 people singing the whole time, like St Mirren at home. It's incredible, like literally beating a drum. And if you had like even a diluted version of that, that would be amazing. Now, when you have those things, maybe you're gonna have a bit of trouble, maybe a bit more guys drinking a bit more, or whatever. But I think you've got to pay the price, because yesterday was like a funeral in there. It was awful, and it was a massive game, and it affects me. Like I was like. It just makes you nervous. It makes you just a bit flat yourself, and I completely.
Yeah, I mean, look, Chelsea started the game quite poorly yesterday, and that obviously is something Maresca in his presser actually talked about this, about the atmosphere. He said, it's on the players as well to get the crowd going at the start of the games. And I was expecting us to come out sort of all guns blazing for the first 10, 15 minutes, as we've done sometimes in games, most notably recently at home. And yeah, that was not the case at all yesterday. It was
Yeah, but I think, to be honest, like, Palmer's back and scores basically straight away after 20 minutes or whatever it was. And then the fans didn't really react that much. They kind of went back into their kind of, their shell a bit,
Yeah.
Just that was a massive moment. And, we should probably talk about after the game. I think you listened to the presser after the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Maresca just randomly came out with, he was getting questioned about Malo Gusto, and he obviously has something to say. And he went, it's the worst 48 hours I've ever had as a Chelsea coach. I think he's alluding to I think obviously the media pressure a bit. And I think he's probably the schedule. I think he's not a big fan of the schedule. He kept going about 5 games in 12 days, etc. But I think it was a little dig at the fans. I think he was like, what was that? What was that? What was that atmosphere in there? Like rubbish,
Yeah.
And like he's probably thinking, I'm sure he wasn't expecting it to be bouncing like it was Barcelona and Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal was different because Taylor was refereeing, and we obviously had a sending off, and it was Arsenal, so that's going to be different, obviously. And oftentimes the setup of the game can define an atmosphere. Everton was a big game. I mean, it won't be like 5th and 6th in the league. It was a big game. Like, it was honestly like a Carling Cup atmosphere. It was awful. So yeah, got a lot of Chelsea fans got to look themselves in the mirror, really, because if you want to be an elite team, you need that 12 person in the stadium, like, supporting you.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, Maresca obviously talking about that 48 hours. I do think that is about the fans being a bit more on board with where we're at, because I think we're doing really well this season, all things considered. And that is not the opinion, I don't think, of the fan base overall in general. It's sort of quite mixed, I think. Right, let's talk about the players. Let's do temps.
Time to see whose form's on top, who's heating up, whose temperature's dropped, who's been playing well and who's not. It's freezing, warming up, boiling hot.
Okay, Brady, freezer for you. What you got?
A lot of people probably going, I'm going to put Santos in. I know he didn't come on for long, but I don't know what this player is. He just played half an hour in this game. He came on for Palmer, which I didn't love that sub, but he put Enzo in the 10, which I'm not really a fan of either.
Yeah, that actually that worked out really badly for us.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why he's got no legs. He's asking Enzo to press from the 10. I didn't really understand that whatsoever. I would have bought Esteval one personally, just straight, or put, I don't know. I could have done something different, but Santos was a player. It wasn't just because he was through on goal and he was through with left foot and he skied it. I just don't know. I'm not sure what he is. He's almost like a bit of a Loftus-Cheek, where he's basically a utility player for us. He chips it. He comes on. You can't see him starting for Chelsea regularly, really, anytime soon, unless maybe Fernandes leaves. And yet, Sugo hasn't been fit either. I know you've likened him to Conor Gallagher because he's like an elite presser, but he just, I'm not sure what he is. And like at Strasbourg, he was supposed to be this like buccaneering number 8, and then he's come here and he played in the 10. I know that's not the 8, but he played in more advanced positions against Forest. He looked absolutely woeful. And then against Burnley, his best game for the club by a mile, he kind of looked like a good Caicedo replacement or a backup against Burnley. Really good in the 6, really aggressive, but you don't know where to play him. He don't really, and when he comes on, you're like, it's just, I don't know. It is like Loftus-Cheek. It's just like when Loftus-Cheek under Tuchel, just he'll do any job. Put him at right back, or put him in an 8, put him in a 10, put him wherever. Just, I don't know. I think when you're looking at our financial situation and you're looking at the players at the moment, I think if Barcelona come in for a bid for him or something like that, I think you just take it. I'm not sure the Premier League is going to be
Barcelona. I don't think Barcelona are going to be interested in Andre Santos.
Well, they've always been interested in him. They wanted him before we bought him. They were sniffing around him. They wanted to loan him straight away when we bought him. They've always been in for him. I've always had a lot of links about Santos and Barcelona. But there's a lot of clubs who wanted him, and I think he was like under 21 Brazil captain. There's a lot of hype about this player. I think he's usually in the Brazil squad, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit of a disservice. But when he comes on, it's like, he'll start against Cardiff, but that's kind of where he's at, isn't it? And it's like, well, Does he want that?
Obviously you don't want him anywhere near the team at the moment, do you?
Yeah. And also for him, does he want that? I mean, he's probably quite a talented player. Does he want to be? He can't be doing this for many more years. He'll be like, well, what am I doing here? A bit.
Well, I think to start with, we've got to give a player a chance to settle. I think obviously he's playing like sporadically, limited minutes.
I've been thinking
you're right.
about this, but like let's say a player like Palmer. Okay, Palmer's one of our best players, but like Palmer didn't need to settle, did he? You sold Carl Palmer straight away. Like I can't. It's like a little bit like with Delap. It's like. Or,
I think there's a big difference though in Brazilian young players coming to the Premier League.
Maybe like Jackson, when you guys saw, it's like, are they ever going to evolve that much? Like, are they ever going to really change from what they are in 4 or 5? Some players do, but not really. Like you don't. I can't see Andrew Santos being some like beast in the Premier League in 2-3. Maybe he will, but I don't know. Like the main reason I say is because we have so many options in midfield. And I do think we need to invest in the squad in some areas. And I know that money is going to be tight because, UEFA are all over us with that, the bans. We've got that.
It's not money, really. It's more the squad registration, I think, for next season.
Yeah. But we've got that historic Abramovich. I mean, I don't think that's going to be very heavy. You've got the that legacy Abramovich, fine, hopefully just a fine coming in. Hopefully it won't be too much. But I know the Jacksons say I won't go on the books. There's something about that where, because he wasn't in the Europa Conference League squad, that maybe the finances...
It will go on the books, but he won't count for an extra place next year.
Yeah, so there's a lot... We still need money, right? Because I still think this team needs a big investment. We know that I want us to buy 9 of some weight next summer. But anyway, I don't know. I couldn't really think of many other players, but he came on and he just didn't. Maybe because it was such an underwhelming sub that maybe he's a bit of a victim of that. But I thought he was poor when he came on again. And other than Burnley, he's been very underwhelming for me.
Yeah, I mean, look, Burnley's the only standout game for Santos. But yeah, he's a young player. I was expecting Santos to come in and be basically this, where he comes on for half hour every now and again. Sort of looks like he's struggling a bit, but can progress. He's a 21-year-old player coming in to play centre mid in the Prem. It's just not easy at all. And also just finding out, I think, a little bit about himself.
I get that, but it's like you're not really seeing any flashes of real quality. It's just like...
Well, I think we saw Burnley that he's elite ball recovery.
But on the ball,
so that is good. That's worth something. That's
didn't he score like 10 goals last year? I was just thinking, I thought on the ball he was good. Like he could actually be like a bit of a box crasher and a box to box. He's not like that at all. When he gets in front of goal, he gets a nosebleed a bit. Like
he was good against Wolves away as well.
Yeah, he was good, but I mean that was Wolves away. I mean.
Yeah, so obviously his best games against Wolves and Burnley are the two worst in the Premier League. But, we have to get players to come in and play those games.
I think he's a good player, good talent, but I think sometimes...
that's all I was expecting from Santos, so maybe my expectancy wasn't as high as yours. I was expecting him to come in, be a rotation piece, to come in and play decently well in some of these like lower level games.
We just have to think that we're a very high turnover club. A lot of these players are going to get turned over. They're going to get flipped. They're going to move on. Like we shouldn't get attached to some of these players. Like we've got a big squad, a young squad, and when you've got young squad, a lot of them are going to move on. So yeah, I just think I always think when I'm watching the game, sometimes from a business point of view, they're thinking, well, maybe we could sell him. So I don't know. It's just something to think about. Maybe it'll turn up. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to put Maresca in the freezer.
Oh dear. Really?
And not because, and this obviously just a snap take. It's the subs for me in these games right now. We're in December. We've got to rotate the squad. We need to give players minutes. Why is Enzo playing 90 minutes in this game? It's just no business playing it. We only used 3 subs in this game, and 3 windows. He made 3 separate subs: 58, 65, and 81. I mean, I just don't get it. I really don't get why Reece James and Enzo have played 90 minutes in this game. Fofana was cramping at 80. I thought he was going to sub him. Fair enough. You try and get him through the game. But yeah, you've got to use the squad in these games. João Pedro played 81 minutes. He could have come off at 70. I think obviously Palmer had to come off in this game. They gave him 60 minutes. Fine, that was all scheduled. But you could have thrown on another sub at that point. I think Hato for Cucurella, even at 85. Look, give Cucurella 10 minutes more rest.
And it's not going to give Hato 10 minutes. It's also give some of these players a bit of hope.
Yeah, look, obviously these guys are all going to play on Tuesday night against Cardiff.
Yes.
But I'm not happy with it. Look, I really rate Enzo Maresca, probably higher than all of us in this in our little group or whatever, I really think he's done a great job and he's been brilliant. But the subs is just one thing for me where you've got 5 subs. The thing is, if we only had 3 subs in the Premier League like we used to in the old days, he'd be the first one being like, we want 5 subs, we need 5 subs, these guys are tired. So now we've got 5 subs and then he only uses 3. I just don't get that at all. Like, even the last 5 minutes of the game, you've got to max your subs every game. We're in December, we're playing every 3 days. You have to make 5 subs a game. Yeah, there's barely any teams that aren't doing that. Like, you have to do it.
The outstanding one for me is Mark Guiu. I have no idea why Mark Guiu didn't get any minutes in this game, because he literally stuck Neto up and up against Tarkowski in the 9, and they started lumping along.
That doesn't make any sense, because Neto could do with the rest as well.
What is he doing? Like, he just put Neto in the 9, started lumping it to Tarkowski and Keane, and he's going to lap it up all day. Guiu, I know that people don't rate Guiu that much, but you've got to remember when we were at Liverpool 1-1, he brought Guiu on and he roughed up Van Dijk, and he changed that game, Guiu. Yeah. I don't think he could have done that, and it didn't matter. But the reason we were under pressure is because we couldn't hold the ball up. We kept turning it over. I mean, it was a game, actually, I have to say, there's so many unforced errors in that game yesterday. There were so many poor turnovers. I mean, obviously, Everton nearly gave us a goal in the first half. But a lot of mistakes in the game, very tired legs or whatever. But João Pedro, he did okay, João Pedro. I think he was okay. But he was done after about an hour, 70 minutes.
And look, I really like Enzo Maresca. I really do. I think he can be one of our best managers. I think he's got a chance with this squad, how talented he is. He can build with it. I think he can be really special, this squad. But yeah, the subs, like,
even Garnacho, I thought Garnacho was decent. I mean, look, he was getting in positions.
Well, wait till you hit my warming up.
Yeah, but yeah. He was getting in positions to do things, and then he just hooks him. And he just brings Gittins on. Like, Gittins wasn't really going to do anything in that game.
Well, I thought that. So this O'Brien guy that's playing right back for Everton. Oh my goodness, he looks like, Sunday League level. Like, he looks so slow as well.
Yeah.
I thought that was fine, but yeah, I would have put someone with. I think Gittins with his pace. I thought he was going to create something against O'Brien for sure. He looks so slow, but
I think it goes back to what we spoke about in the where he actually has got his nexus of players, his core of players, and Fernandes is in there, and he doesn't trust the rest. Like, Neto needed a rest from an hour in that game, but he didn't want to bring Esteval on, and because to be fair to him, the first thing Esteval did is he dribbled and he gave it away.
Yeah.
Like, He didn't trust. It's trust. He doesn't trust his players to see the game out. And we saw that Everton, they had a gun. They should have scored Everton. But he needed that win, and it's that bit of I need a win. But with Hato, he's looking at him thinking, I can't trust you. Players like Tosin, Guiu doesn't trust them. He doesn't trust them to bring them on, and they'll play against Cardiff, but he's going to have to start trusting the players a bit more if he wants to keep the fresh over the season, keep the squad fresh over the season.
Yeah, and obviously, look, that the game on Tuesday against Cardiff, that's a quarter final of the League Cup. It's a decently big game, so all these players that they're trusted, they will be trusted in that game, I think, to get a result. And Cardiff, obviously, they're not like playing like a League Two side or whatever, or sorry, like a really lower level team. They're top of League One, so I think they've got 5 wins in a row. They're not a bad team at all, and or they're not a shocking team. They'll be confident and ready.
One yesterday, 4-3 in the 9th minute of added time.
Wow,
they'll be buzzing.
Yeah, massive game Tuesday. But right, let's talk warming up. I've spoiled mine, but let's talk about Garnacho first. Actually, So Garnacho was warming up for me. I think he gets a lot of stick, Garnacho, from some people. Some people just for some reason just really dislike this player. But if you watch the game, he's actually such an important player for us. He hit another 0.62 XGA yesterday. I mean, it's special. I mean, it's literally like it's approaching the best in the league. I don't know if they've updated FB Ref from after yesterday's game. Let's just have a quick look. But I mean, he touches in the penalty box, shot creating actions, non-penalty XGA. Like, he's like elite level
Yeah.
progressive passes received, progressive carries. He's 98th percentile. Like, I mean, if you look to these players, like you're comparing them when they do similar players on FB Ref, on he's up. The similar players for him are Pardo from Lille, Vinicius Junior from Real Madrid, Rashford. Like these are the players. Luis Diaz is in his comps as well, top 10 comps. Like, if you look at just his stats, if you blindfold him at people and like, just to look at stats, he's up there with like the top wingers in the league for like his production from an expected point of view. And look, obviously part of that is finishing the chances. I think he was really unlucky with that one down the Matthew Harding end where he decides to shoot instead of crossing it to João Pedro, which I thought was the right thing to do. And obviously he skies it over the bar. But let's say he'd scored that yesterday. I mean, he might have been man of the match. Obviously Gusto was probably man of the match. But like, I mean, he's producing at quite a good level for left wing. And I think warming up is a good place for him, despite, I don't like to be too results orientated. I think he's an important player for the team.
I think there was a bit of a caveat. Off the ball, he's awful. I mean, that O'Brien you said that was Sunday League player, he was making him look like Cafu at some points because they were cutting down our right the whole time, and he was kind of moaning a little bit, and it didn't. Off the ball, he's awful.
I think that it was 3v2 a lot down that side.
Yeah,
for some
but
reason.
I agree that I think I'll go back to the Liverpool game. Everything was going through him, and he was part of the reason that Conor Bradley got took off. I mean, the main reason why he got took off. He's on a booking. I'm not sure it was Garnacho he fouled, but he had Conor Bradley on toast that day, really. And he scores. The thing with Garnacho that I like is he can score with his left foot. He scored that really good goal in the Karabag. I remember that goal where he drilled it with his left foot. He can shoot with both feet, which is
he can also cut it back with the left foot. That's one of his
really good for a left winger because obviously. If you've got Gittins, if you show Gittins to his left, I mean, he's just never gonna. I mean, unless he proves me wrong, I don't think Gittins has got much of a. He's very right foot heavy, right? Very in terms of shooting. But yeah, Garnacho, he's involved a lot. I mean, in the first half, I don't that chance where he had an open goal. I mean, Tarkowski does quite well to track him, but he should score that, obviously.
Yeah, but you're talking about his off the ball. That was part of his. That's part of the pressing there.
Yeah. No, and look, I think with Garnacho, it's the tattoos, it's the hair. It's
body language as well. I think his body language is poor.
Right, but it's that Man United stigma. Some players are like, well, what's he doing here? But Maresca, he is first choice left winger. He's starting a lot of games. I think he started 6 or 7 7 or 8 Premier League games. He's fit a lot in terms of when he's fit. He's starting. I mean, he always gets shot. And you're right. With terms of the stats, he's always getting chances, and he shouldn't have passed it. Everyone was like, you should square it to João Pedro. In the moment, the way his body was facing, he's never going to do that.
No, I mean, and he's not even open, João Pedro, for a pass.
Yeah, and I think his body shape was fine. He just skied it. I agree. I think he will. I mean, even when he was really poor, or when Manchester United were poor, he'd always tick over goals and assists. And I'll be honest, that's all I'm looking for the attackers. We have other players in the team like Neto, Enzo, other players who can do a bit more of the dog work. When you've got Cucurella on that side, he can cover for him a bit. But if he can get 10 league goals this year, or 8, 9, 10 league goals, or 7, 8 assists, you won't be hearing any complaints from me. Like, just as long as he doesn't stat pad in, as long as he gets some important goals, because it's important that these players get important goals. They don't stat pad against the poor teams. But yeah,
I think he's running bad with goals. I think he's.
Yeah, I agree. I think he could have had a couple more for sure. I think he'll be very good at winning penalties. I think because on the break when teams are tired, him and Gittins actually, I think that him and Gittins will probably win a few penalties this. Well, not a few, but a couple of penalties this year. But that is part of the game, So yeah, I think he's fine. And yeah, I don't know, you've got Coenda coming in next year, right? Who's right wing? Is he? I keep forgetting. Is he right wing, Coenda?
He's left-footed winger, yes, but he can play both wings.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but you have to say that with the squad composition, I mean, one of Neto, Garnacho, and Gittins will probably leave in the next 2 years. So it's about
performing. Who's going to perform?
Yeah, it's out of the fittest, really, isn't it? Like one of those guys will leave because there won't be enough room, basically. So. I have to wait and see what happens. Yeah, I thought he was okay. I'm gonna put Reece James in warming up. He just looks really assured as a player.
He's looking super fit right now, Reece James,
He
as
just
well.
calms
Covering
the
the
team
distance.
down. The last 10, 15 minutes, he was just calming the players down. He was just like, give me the ball. It was like a training drill, at the end. And that's good because we're keeping the ball. Because he knew the team were tired. And his game management, wherever he plays, is so good. He's honestly matured so much as a football player in the last 18, and not in terms of ability, but in terms of his mentality in the last 18 months, so much. He's so much of a better captain than he was like a year ago even. He's amazing as a captain now. Very assured, very strong. He's begging Maresca for minutes. He wants 90. He'll probably be telling me, play me for Cardiff. I mean, he won't, but play me for Cardiff. Like, he wants to play. And, he just so much quality. We know about his qualities, but I want to talk about the mental side because he's been through a lot. There's a World Cup summer as well, so that's in the back of the players' minds. But he can tell that's not really in his mind. He just wants to be. I remember when they asked him a couple of years ago, "What's your aim for this season?" And it's like to stay on the pitch because obviously he's been injured. I think this year he's aimed to just be a good captain, play as many minutes as he can, and just help the team as much as he can. I think when you win the Champions League so young, like he did, and won the Club World Cup, he's not. Obviously, he wants trophies, but he's not hungry to prove himself. He's already proven to himself, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? It's like obviously he wants the league, but it's like when players have already won something, they've got this kind of like this confidence about them. They haven't got this like nervousness. He's like, I'm fine. I've done well in my career. I can not that his career's done in terms of hopefully not. Hopefully he wins a few leagues for Chelsea, but he's just got this like presence where it's like an experienced player. I've been there, I've done it, relax. I've been in this spot a million times, managed the game out. Where some of the other players are very frenetic. They're very like, oh, we've got to see it out, sort of thing. So, yeah, just really good on the mentality side. So, yeah, I thought he was good.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this when we appointed Reece James, as I could see captain in him. I know it wasn't agreed with at the time necessarily by everyone.
They made him captain. I think they should. I think if Silva spoke English, Silva would have been captain. I think they made him captain a bit early. And no, the reason I didn't like him being made captain was because he couldn't get on the pitch, and I thought it was a lot of pressure for him. And I just thought that it would be more of a priority for him to get back on the pitch and then become captain. But they've done it the kind of the long way around, and it's worked out.
I think that's helped him. I think he's grown into that role almost because he's captain. I think they gave him that responsibility, to be there and to be present and to grow. I know he's done a lot of work with I can't remember the guy's name who's come in that used to be with New Zealand's rugby team. I think him and that guy have a really close friendship. That they've forged and has really helped him become a leader as well, and he sort of embraced that role as well. But Chelsea have had 7 games in 21 days since the international break, starting with Burnley on November 22nd, and Reece James has started all of them apart from Leeds.
Yeah, he looks combust. That's the best way I can say it. He looks combust when he goes down. Usually, your heart's in your mouth, and he just gets up. Yeah, I mean, obviously, look, any player can get injured at any time, especially this overload. I mean, we saw Dewsbury Hall, bless him. He pulled his hamstring or did something. I mean, and he's been literally like 90 minutes for Everton. Anyone can get injured at any time, but you have to say that it's looking more promising for Reece. He was my warming up. A little special, just because he's not my boiling hot. Rob Sanchez again, 9 clean sheets this year. He's leading the Golden Glove again. People will notice it. I don't know if you saw it in the highlights. There's that one where I think it might have been O'Brien. He put it across, and he got a little touch, and he went through Barry's legs. What a bit of goalkeeping, by the way! Like that Jack Grealish chance in the first half, he smothers him. Really, loads of high claims from corners. Corners, he just comes out. He's so chill. He never punches it. He just comes out and catches it. So, yeah, I think any talk of a goalkeeper in January, I don't want to be hearing that. Actually, on X. If we get any Magnan stuff, I'm just going to be outwardly just going for fans if they're calling for Magnan because they're idiots if they are. We've got a really good number 1 at the moment. Simple as that.
Yep, 100% agree with that. What have you got for boiling hot?
Boiling hot, I have got. It's funny life, isn't it? He's been wearing North Face for months for me. He's been chilling out. It's been what a role.
Mallow.
Yeah, It's Malo Gusto.
Are we getting an apology actually?
No, definitely. There's two reasons we're not getting an apology. Because every time we get an apology, it curses them. You apologise to Trev, and then he was awful, and he took it back, and now he's good again. I'm not doing an apology. And to be honest, you need more than this to get an apology. But I've got to say, in this game, it wasn't actually. And what I'm going to say, it wasn't actually. His goal. His goal. We'll talk about the goal and the assist in a minute. But his overall performance, he was so much more robust. Basically did a job on Grealish, way more solid, making good positive decisions with the ball. Yeah, I mean, just much better, much better. Just a little bit mentally, the handbrake off a little bit. I don't know, just maybe getting some more minutes. I don't know, but
I think he's improved like technically a lot with passing, like touch passing, short passing.
What? I mean, really good assist. I mean, Palmer eats that up. He said Palmer said in the interview afterwards, in that right half space, that's Palmer's like bread and butter. That's what he wants. That's literally, when Cole Palmer retires, you show that goal. That's his goal. Like just staying between the lines, getting the through ball in that right half space, bang, goal. But what a finish, by the way. When, because I knew when Neto was breaking, I was actually looking. Sometimes what I do is when I'm watching the game, I know Neto's going to cross. I'm seeing who's in the box, and I was like, oh, it's Gusto. And I thought, I've got no chance. It was at your end, wasn't it? And I thought he's got no chance here. What a finish, by the way. Like I know Pickford didn't cover himself in glory, but with your weak foot on the move to put that in, not an easy chance at all. So yeah, I mean, 2 goals. I think he's got 2 or 3. Have he got 2 or 3 assists? Maybe he might have some FPL assists. Not sure the actual real assists, but he obviously got a real assist yesterday. Yeah, I mean it's great. It's just great that if at right back, if James can't play, he can. But he's becoming a bit more than that. He's very important to the team, and maybe he's just adjusting to that inverted role. But I mean, I'm not going to count my chickens yet because he has some stinkers this season, and but. Yeah, he does look better, I have to say, and obviously yesterday was a very good day for him. So yeah, deserved.
We talk triangles, the right hand side triangle. That triangle between Gusto, Palmer, and Neto yesterday was great, and it's really dynamic. Fofana much better than what the job Chalobah did at Leeds, sort of backing that up as well, playing just behind. Fofana for that goal played a really quick pass into Gusto, and then that was on to Palmer straight away. It's obviously something they worked on. I think you could clearly see that. So yeah, I think really excited to see what Gusto can be, and he's become a bit of like a feature in our big games where he has to play just because of what they do with the structure of the team. And he's embraced it and played really well in those games. I know, just going back to like the Club World Cup final, where we saw the team before that game against PSG, and we're like, oh, why is Gusto playing? Now you don't get that at all. Now it's like, oh, a big game, like Gusto will be there. Like that's important.
It really helps Palmer when Gusto's in the team. That Bayern Munich. Remember that Bayern Munich goal with Gusto? Yeah. He really helps Palmer, and it does mean that there's some other things in the team that are a bit worse. But when you get if you've got a player who's bringing out the best player, the best attributes of your best player, then that can only be a good thing as well, especially in some bigger games.
Let's talk about one moment with him though. The 44th minute, he's 30 yards out.
Oh yeah,
Neto's free on the right hand side, ready for a pass. Have a little pop, Malo.
I was screaming at him. I think some of the people around me thought I was being a bit negative yesterday because I was just like, "Oh my!" I was like, "Oh my."
I mean, that is so frustrating.
And these people's like right foot. Usually it's the left foot. Usually he tries left foot 30 yards out. I don't know what he's up to. Especially now he's got a goal. It's like, don't do that anymore. He's got 2 goals now. Don't need to.
Yeah, his work rate and stamina is absolutely invaluable to the team right now. And yeah, he was brilliant yesterday. Yeah. And yeah, I think he's just. I know Cy Phillips' podcast as well. There's a guy that comes on whose name escapes me. Really good podcast to listen to. And but he has always been a fan of Malo Gusto midfield. I don't know anyone that's always been a fan of Malo Gusto midfield, but he loves it. And yeah, he might have been early on the train, to be honest, because it does look really good at the moment. I just want to talk quickly about Cole Palmer because we haven't really talked about him, and obviously the return of him was really important yesterday. He's not my boiling hot. I want to talk about another player, but I just want to talk about Palmer and how intelligent he is picking up spaces at 10. Like the difference between Palmer and João Pedro at 10 is like night and day. It's like bottom of the Premier League versus top. Like there's no comparison with how these guys play 10. Palmer's so good in tight spaces, making space for himself, finding space. There was a time where Sanchez had the ball and he sprinted across to the left side to get some space as well, because he's got that maybe the tactical freedom to do that, but also the tactical intelligence to do that as well. He is. I know people talk about Caicedo being the best player. People talk about who our best player is or most important player, whatever, and Caicedo is that. But the actual most important player for us in terms of just being irreplaceable for us is Cole Palmer, because there's no actual player in world football that can play his role that he plays for us, where he's so good in the box, shooting, finishing, clever assists, whatever it is, creativity in and around the box, but he also can drop deep, make space, play passes from deep, link the build up. He does so much for the team. And yeah, we've missed it so badly. And like I said, obviously, second time watching him play at Stamford Bridge in 7 months is such a shame. We've missed him.
Yeah, I mean, it's King Cole returns. I mean, I've been saying on the WhatsApp group, obviously, since the Leeds game, and Leeds was a bit of a stinker. I think the Leeds defeat rocked everyone. But since then, we've had a bad week. We've been talking about what's going to quote unquote save the season or whatever. I think it really is dependent on Cole. If Cole is fit for a long time and ticks over with goals and assists, we have enough other players in the team that can support him now. There's a better supporting cast than there used to be, right? It's not just under Poch where it's just literally him, right? And with him and Jackson gone, a lot of the goals went out of the team. So if Cole can come back and be Cole, we've got a good chance of achieving really good things this year. If he suffers of injuries, he's out for a long time, we are really, really going to struggle. And that sounds obvious, but I think he is literally the black or the white or whatever path you take on this season. If he's fit, we can really achieve it in the Champions League as well. But yeah, he's just amazing. I mean, even that game is like he's at like 60%, 70% gas. I mean, that finish is not easy. He'd been out for ages, and he just gives.
So calm, yeah.
Even you see, let's say Esteval got there. Esteval could snatch at that. Neto would snatch at it a bit, maybe. With Carl, it's just like, right, I've done this in training a million times. Give the keeper a little bang, near post, done, job done. It's bread and butter for him. And we have other good attackers, but he is just a lot better than our other attackers, right?
Yeah, he's a natural. Cole Palmer, he's just a natural.
And the thing with Cole is, he absolutely loves playing for Chelsea. Chelsea basically made him, right? That's why he'll be at Chelsea for a long time, I think, unless we get money problems or we have to sell him or a huge offer comes in down the road. We made him, like it was such a random move for him to come to Chelsea, and we made him a talisman we made him a superstar, really. You know what I mean? Like he everything he's done in his career, really, in terms of obviously just some stuff at City, but he's become who he is. He's grown up with us, and that's why he does those Instagram posts. Like when he loves Chelsea, he means it. Like he's won the Club World Cup.
I think he loves living in London as well now. I know he was a northern boy coming down, but I think he seems to have really embraced living in London as well.
And you've got a lot of young players who, they have that kind of young player vibe, and they all probably listen to like the same music. You know what I mean? They're all like the kind of the same interests, and they all get on, that kind of thing. That's what's good about young squad. He enjoys it. It's fun. Whereas Guardiola is probably a bit like the Guardiola prison of don't you know what I mean? Guardiola's already telling Shirky not to do Rabonas and all that. Like, I don't think Cole Palmer and Pep would have mixed that well, to be honest. I mean, so I think that's why he loves playing for Chelsea, because he's a fan favourite, and he would have really struggled to do that at City, just the way of the setup there. So that's why he'll give that little bit extra. Like he wants the club to do well, and he's like Hazard in that sense. He just loves the club, So yeah, that does help a lot. He don't feel like he's. What I'm trying to say is I don't think he's like, oh yeah, in the future, maybe in his head he's like, oh, one day I wouldn't mind playing for Real Madrid, but you can tell he's not like, I'm going to move. He's like, I'm a Chelsea player. Do you know what I mean? But some other players, I think they're thinking about their career and that sort of thing. He's not like that. So yeah, and when you've got the elite player who's settled, it's just the best thing you can have. Yeah,
locked up till June 2033, Cole Palmer. So fantastic. Right, my boiling hot is Wesley Fofana. Key player for us. Absolutely brilliant yesterday. Bar Malo Gusto in player ratings, and Sanchez, I guess he's the top player. But I thought, defensively, just absolutely outstanding in the game. 12 clearances, 3 blocks, 2 tackles, 9 headed clearances, 3 interceptions, 5 recoveries. He is
and a
do it
partridge
all
on a pear
defender.
tree.
Sorry?
I said, and a partridge on a pear tree.
He's a do-it-all defender. I mean, he's really. I think I said on the podcast last week, he's really surprised me his level, because obviously we knew Fofana was a good player and we've missed him or whatever, but you don't really know what you're going to get when he's missed so much time and he's come back. But I mean, unbelievable player, absolutely unbelievable
20
player. And
contributions in a game is monstrous, by the way. That's incredible.
And he's only 24 years old. People forget though. Like, obviously Fofana's been around for ages.
I think if Lavia was fit, I think you'd be saying this about Lavia, like unbelievable player. Like I know Fofana.
No, I don't think Lavia is anywhere near Fofana's level in terms of ability in his position.
Okay.
I think Lavia is like a good player, but I think Fofana is like best centre back in the world potential.
What's the main thing you hold against Lavia, right? The main thing you hold against Lavia is his injury record, right? So it's like,
well, I think
that's not the stuff he can improve. Like, I think it's like, when he's good, but okay. The point I'm trying to make is, the only thing you can hold in like the check mark or the negative mark against Fofana is you're just worried he's going to get injured again. There's nothing else, is there? There's nothing where you look
at. There's
also
like stealing outcomes for Fofana if he stays fit for the next.
You look at him and going, I wish he was a bit. I mean, obviously, no player's perfect, but you are looking at it and thinking, this is what I think. If Colwill gets fit, and if Colwill and Fofana stay fit for 5 years, we've got an elite centre back partnership. That's what I think. Like, I'm not saying it's Gabriel Salih. I'm not saying it's like that, but it's a very good, maybe elite is wrong, but very, very good, very solid. Left foot, right foot, different, complement each other well, salt and pepper a little bit, complement each other well. The only thing is injuries. Like if they can stay fit and he can become what Reece James has become in terms of the injury record, or he gets more robust. Like I said, any player can get injured, obviously. But if you can avoid the long injuries, obviously players are going to be out for a month or 3 weeks. Every player, that happens to every player, obviously. But like, just if you can avoid the 3-4 months out and avoid these injuries, I mean, I think honestly the most pivotal moment of this weekend was when I watched the presser. The one thing I was thinking is Fofana going to be out of that eye issue. And once Maresca said that he was fit and ready to play, I felt so much better about this game. I would have been so nervous about this game if it was Paddy Shield Chalobah or Chalobah tossing. You know what I mean? I would have been like, oh God. It's just like, this would have been, and that nervousness in the ground would have doubled, He is so good for Fofana. And like, yeah, he's so aggressive. Just to finish, when we go to the Etihad, I hope he's fit. Or even to St James on Saturday. You can leave him on the last man. You can leave him on Haaland. He's so aggressive. Like he can play He can be trusted really to play man to man, which is what Maresca loves. So, 20 defensive contributions is a monster. And I mean, he did. I don't know. Did you see what he did to enjoy it? That was quite funny. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was. I love. Some people don't like that kind of thing, but he's bit of spice, bit of like getting in there. It's good.
He's got a lot of intensity, and that's great. I'm a big Wesley Fofana fan for sure. Yeah. All right, let's wrap things up there. We can't really do around the grounds because we've only had a few matches.
Around the ground.
Yeah. But
Arsenal look a bit more shaky, I do have to say.
And obviously scraped a very lucky double own goal win.
Villa and then scraped past Wolves. I don't know, it's getting a bit shaky over there.
Yeah, then they've got a few injuries, Arsenal, but let's see.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks very much, Brady, for that.
No worries.
Give us a follow on X if you can, Eat Sleep Chelsea, and we'll be firing up our YouTube live streams starting next week, I believe. So give us a follow on YouTube as well. Eat Sleep.
And just a little note that we're recording this on Sunday morning. We start at 9 a.m. So we'll put a bit more effort in just to get the pod out. After the game rather than like waiting a day. So give us a like, give us a follow. Like Craig said, we're going to be doing the YouTube stuff and we're going to be progressing with the pod a bit.
Looking forward to it. All right. As always, we hope you're carefree wherever you may be. And thanks for listening.
Sleep, Chelsea repeat. Sleep, Chelsea repeat. Sleep, Chelsea repeat. Sleep, Chelsea repeat.